Our next destination is Campus Middle School. And here's what's true. The students in this building will listen and speak every day for the rest of their lives. More often than not, they'll do so in collaboration with others.
It's a long quote, but it does have a lot of meaning to it.
How effectively they listen and speak will help to determine the course of their lives.
You were going to get with your band.
Meet Erika Deshay, an English teacher who integrates listening, speaking, and collaboration into everything her students learn.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to break you up into your groups, and you're gonna look at the I Have a Dream speech. So how many of you feel like you need a good quote for your paper that's due on Thursday? You need a good quote. Okay. How many of you feel like engaging the reader is something that you're still having difficulty doing in your paper? Okay, so we're gonna use this to help you do that. Before we do that, let us review what it looks like to be working well in a group.
What I like about what Erika does is that she has legitimately built collaboration into her everyday routine.
We should all be listening to each other and giving each other a chance to speak.
Okay, everybody looking at each other, giving each other a chance to speak. Who else can tell me about something to look for? Chris.
Actively participating.
Okay, what does active participation look like?
Everyone takes a turn in talking about their opinion.
Okay, good. Anything we've missed? Rico?
Listening and not going off topic.
Fantastic. All right, so you were going to get with your band, and you have new bands.
Sometimes teachers will think, well, I'll have to have a collaboration unit. I'll have to have a speaking unit. I'll have to have a media literacy unit. You don't. It should be embedded in other things that you do.
So you're going to look at the speech, and we're going to look for something particular. We are going to look for a quote that engages the reader. Some of the kids were struggling with how to integrate a quote into their paper. So I thought that this could be a good way for them to get input, because also in that writing process, you want someone to have input into your paper. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do when you get in your group is I want you to tell your group members about your paper. I need help with paragraph 1. And then we're gonna help each other look for quotes that we can put in those papers. New bands: Journey, David, Ava, Led Zeppelin, Blake, Ella, Sydney, Fleetwood Mac, Caden, Liam, Olivia. I thought it was just a fun way to break up the groups. There could be a lead singer who would be in charge of representing the group, and there's a drummer who's in charge of keeping everyone on task, like rhythm. You're going to move yourselves so you can see each other, so that you can actively participate. They have to be able to speak to each other reasonably. They have to be able to think aloud, and I think it helps. Students have often said that I like working in a group when they do it well, because I get other ideas, and so they get multiple perspectives, which is really great, especially at this age when they're forming all these ideas.
I found one that said, I have a dream that my 4 children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That was in the I section.
And the idea that they have to be able to work with people regardless of who they are is really important, and they need to be able to do that in high school and as grown-ups.
I want something for stereotypes.
I was amazed at how many of the kids were genuinely looking for help. They really cared about the other kids' opinions, and they really cared to give their opinion. So I think she's really set up collaboration the way it's supposed to be in education.
And what do you think, is your paper about? Like, how can we help you in this group?
Inequality.
Inequality? Okay, so maybe you guys can let's look for a specific quote that could help Chris with the idea of inequality. They rely on each other a little bit more in a way that I think is really collegial. It's really nice. All right. If you guys feel like you have good quotes for the paper, then I want to change your direction. Okay. Can you find the best quote? You have to choose one quote. This is the quote, the most important quote in the whole speech, which is hard because there's lots of good quotes. You can only choose one. Can you do that?
Yeah, guys, we should each try to find one, and then we'll determine it from there.
Teachers have discussions, but discussions are really a bunch of opinions being spouted. We take turns sharing our opinion.
Collaboration goes deeper because it requires the kids to consider other ideas, make decisions together, maybe make a product together, and so that takes that discussion piece further.
Okay, I think it's the best quote because it's like, it says that like, even though like things aren't good or weren't very good back then they're gonna get better. And
because in order to collaborate, I have to make a choice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to regroup. Raise your hand if you found a quote that you would like to use in your paper. That's a lot. Many of the kids found quotes that didn't have them before, so their band has helped them kind of flesh it out and how to describe it and why it's important and what it means. I thought that was really good. Okay, here we go.
Our quote was, "Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from a cup of bitterness and hatred."
So the reason why we chose this quote is because we were thinking that we needed help on like society and how it like judges people.
I tell people that if I can do a unit on race, then I can do anything else in my classroom. Everything's easy after that. When we start with, hey guys, we're gonna talk about the most uncomfortable topic there is to talk about in a group with your black teacher, and they freak out. And a lot of them are telling me in their papers, like, I've never talked about race before. Now I feel like I can talk about it. And there's a level of comfort having worked in the groups and tackled this big topic. Now I can talk about anything.
Imagine if students really could talk about anything, to just about anyone. That's a great goal and one that is completely attainable. I'm about to show you how. I'm going to teach a lesson on building a speech to another one of Erika's 8th grade classes. When students build a speech, they should be thinking about audience, content, organization, visual aids, and appearance. But today's lesson is all about audience. I want to demonstrate how important it is, and also how easy it is, to adapt the way we speak depending on our audience.
Let me ask you a question. How many of you speak to your grandmother the exact same way you speak to friends outside of school? I see. How many speak to your grandmother a little bit differently than you speak to friends outside of school? Okay, now tell me some of the differences.
I don't use slang terms with my grandmother.
Don't use slang terms with grandmother. Yes?
Sometimes I have to talk louder to my grandma because she can't hear as well as my friends.
All right. Don't use slang terms, talk louder. Okay. Something else, it's different with grandma.
I tried to not talk about anything that happened after 1990.
Okay, all right, that's fair. So here's what we do. Intuitively, we make decisions based on who the audience is, and we adjust speech for the audience. So what's going to happen today is your bands are going to have the exact same topic, the school cafeteria. You're all going to talk about the lunchroom, but your band is going to prepare a talk for different groups, because I want you to adapt a speech for the audience. It's a huge life skill. We have to teach them to adapt speech. There are times where proper grammar matters. There are times where that boy ain't right is a better way to say something. Intuitively, kids get this. They know that they talk differently to some people than others. I want that to be purposeful, and I want you to know that if you speak a certain way with your group, that's a legitimate way to speak with that group. And I want people to know that there is a kind of a culture of power. I want you to be able to succeed there too, if you choose to speak there. With Erika's class, I wanted to make the point that we can adapt speech to a variety of situations. I've got different audiences. Topic, school cafeteria. One group will talk to 5th graders when they come for their spring visit. One group is for the Coalition to Stop Childhood Obesity. Probably different content, right? Well, you'll see what it is. I'm just going to deal these out. Is this Journey?
Yes.
Pick a card, any card. I wanted to give them a demonstration of what I think they do all the time. We discussed that they talk differently to grandma than they do to their classmates. And I wanted to extend that and say, we really talk differently in a number of different realms. All right, now, lead singer. Tell me who the audience is here. Who's the audience?
Kitchen managers from other schools.
All right, so here's what happens. I'm going to get up in front of kitchen managers from other schools. They've come to campus, and I'm going to have to think, what content would they be interested in? I'll probably talk about the new Frigidaire GX95 freezer that we have. You can make stuff up. Okay, who's the topic here?
5th graders at the spring visit.
5th graders at the spring visit. Well, they're probably not interested in the Frigidaire GX9 freezer. That's probably not part of your content. Your language may be different. A real demonstration of what needs to be done and a demonstration of that it can be done. What about here?
Coalition to Stop Childhood Obesity.
What about this band here?
Comedy night at CMS.
You may not have a comedy night, but we're going to have one. What else? What's back here?
Parents at back to school night.
Different talk for them, right? What are we going to tell parents about the cafeteria? There may be some details we don't reveal. Okay, all right, you see how the game is played, and what else?
Kindergarten students at their spring visit.
I know, kindergartners don't come here for a spring visit, but I thought it would be fun to design a speech for kindergarten kids. I'm guessing you'll include some different language. So you see what's going to happen. We have a short amount of time, probably 15 minutes, and in your band, we'll all work together, but I think one person maybe writes the script. You can decide who the speaker will be. But in 15 minutes, I want you to build a speech thinking of these things for that audience, whatever audience you have. And then after 15 minutes of speech building, we'll listen to them. Deal? All right, build a speech.
You can be like, who here likes ice cream? You can get that here. Or like, who likes pizza? Well, we've got that too.
Yeah. How we prepare the food. It's not going to be about the food itself.
Tired of your mom's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Campus has so many options. So many.
Okay, then we can use like the other version of this where like shoot instead of donkey instead of, and then
like what you always do. You're like beep 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 beep. Yeah.
We have many cutting-edge kitchen technologies, such as the
Oven 300.
the
new
and
improved
oven, the Ovenator 3000.
Time. That's it. Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat.
So these 8th graders have built their speeches in 15 minutes flat with a primary focus on the audience. First, we do a quick review of what they need to think about as they perform.
Poise, voice, life, eye contact, gestures, and speed.
That's true, that's exactly true, and I said that's what it takes to perform a speech. And you're going to perform speeches. Now, we haven't had a lot of time to rehearse, so we may not be totally poised. Certainly we can have a voice such that everyone can hear. Some of you, as you were practicing, had some life in your voices, and I hope there's some life.
Next, one representative from each band gets up to perform the speech. The rest of us are going to be the audience.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. We are 8th graders attending the first ever comedy night at Campus Middle School.
Did those rubber hot dogs bounce? One day, a person threw something squishy at me and it ricocheted across the cafeteria. I was like, oh shoot. Like, you know those moments when you're gonna get in trouble? I said to my friend, watch this. And I started burping the Ode to Joy. But I accidentally took a drink, and I might have accidentally laughed when I said it. And they might have accidentally got super soaked. Thank you.
Well, in a matter of 10 minutes, they created a comedy routine and were clever enough to edit it for our audience, which is good. That's good. Excellent, excellent. I'm guessing that the next speech will be a little different. We are all kitchen managers, and we're keen to know how the campus cafe works. Go ahead.
In order to keep our students healthy, we follow all regulations and received a 9 out of 10 on our last kitchen inspection. Due to our thriving surplus of money due to many popular dessert options, we now have many cutting-edge kitchen technologies. One such technology is our Ovenator 3000. It cooks more food faster than any other oven in the world. Our various other technologies allow us to keep a very efficient and profitable kitchen that isn't matched anywhere else in the world.
Unbelievable. In a matter of 10 minutes, notice how the language changed? Efficiency and profit and the Ovenator 3000 and regulations and totally shifted the language, totally shifted the vocabulary. Who's the next band?
NSYNC.
NSYNC, where's NSYNC? Parents are coming to back to school night and they're really curious to find out about the cafeteria at Campus Middle School where their kids will be eating.
Hello parents, welcome to back to school night. Our campus cafeteria ensures that your child has a healthy, affordable, delicious lunch. Our ingredients include whole wheat bread, fat-free milk, and organic fruits and vegetables. Our lunchroom provides a healthy, sustainable lunch for your child.
You guys are absolutely amazing. Wasn't that a voice full of life? Wasn't that totally engaging? If I'm a parent coming here, I love that. I love this cafeteria and I love that speaker.
Look how much fun these kids are having.
Fifth graders taking the Campus Middle School tour.
Look how engaged they are.
Tired of your mom's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Campus has 3 different options for lunch. Wow, so many options. At your table, you can chill with your bros or check Insta and Snapchat. Snap a selfie with your delicious lunch at the cafeteria, where the food is great and your friends are cool.
Again with the vocabulary change. Chill with your bros. Come on, we didn't use that for the parents, we didn't use that for the kitchen managers. Fleetwood Mac, you are now the coalition to stop childhood obesity.
Good evening. Thank you for joining me.
One of the things I run into when I talk to teachers about speaking is that they believe I'm talking about public speaking. Capital P, capital S, these are the skills you trot out one time a year for the big presentation. I want kids to be good speakers in all situations.
And then we also sell ice cream every single day. That's so unhealthy. We need your help.
I mean, in a matter of 10 minutes, these kids are crafting really specific speeches for specific audiences.
Speaking is like any other skill we teach. The more lessons and guidance we provide, the more our students improve.
Our pizza contains over...
Today's lesson, speaking can be fun.
It contains over 5 grams of salt. We want healthier snacks because what we have now contains 5 grams of fat per chip.
This is a high-stakes situation, right? You get up in front of us with no practice to give a speech. Are we sometimes going to lose it? Yes, of course. What I like is that you got it back together. And there was a call for action. Nobody else had a call for action. It wasn't part of your speeches. But we need your help here. That's exactly what should be in that speech. Who's left?
Sly and the Family Stone.
Sly and the Family Stone. All right, this has never happened. It's never happened, I don't think, that kindergartners have come here for a tour. And so all of us are big-eyed, 5-year-old kids listening about... You ready? Okay.
Who likes ice cream? Who likes pizza? At the Campus Cafe, we have all of it. We have all the wonderful food, and we have amazing lunch ladies. And don't worry about talking out loud. There are no stoplights at Campus Middle School. Oh, you can talk to your friends all you want. It's like heaven. You can also choose whatever you want to eat any day. You don't have to choose between unhealthy foods. You can eat it all. Now, step right this way to our amazing playground.
And I think the teachers should look at that and think, you know, this isn't as hard as I thought. Kids can do this, and I can lead them to doing it. Okay, so we were all talking about the same thing. It's the school cafeteria. How did it come out so differently?
Our audience was different.
And so why did that matter?
It's the different motives of the different groups.
You also have different objectives. So you're trying with, like, the kindergartners, you're trying to convince them that campus is amazing. Yet for the obesity coalition, you're trying to convince them that we've an issue and we need help.
Exactly. When you're speaking, you have to be able to adapt to any situation. And I love the way you played the game. I heard some great speeches. What I think you ought to do is make sure that anytime you open your mouths, you're thinking exactly the way you thought today. Who's the audience?